Hey guys, good morning and good evening to those of you on the other opposite end of the world. We had, again, some troubles with the technical shit, but no problem. We are here with the new link and we're about to get started. Hey, Al's here. Hi, Al. Whoa, okay. What? Why am I listening to myself? Anyways, you hear that mic, right? Like, why? I don't know why, but that is really weird. I'm hearing myself. I'm hearing myself. You know what? I will do this, cause screw that. Alright, let's get started. Chapter 9. Oh, actually, before we did this, I just wanted to talk about chapter 8 a little bit, right? I just want to talk about chapter 8 a little bit. Cause it was fun, wasn't it? I mean, there wasn't a lot of action in chapter 8, but look at this. It was 12 pages. It was 12 pages. I actually scrambled a bit to get this done in time. Look at this. Chapter 7 was 9 pages, and then chapter 8 was 12 pages. I scrambled. I was like, God damn it, this is really long. But it was good fun. And there weren't a lot of footnotes, so that was pretty cool. Oh, maybe I have my stream open. Yes, maybe I have my stream open. Why am I doing that? Oh right, I did that because I couldn't comment. I couldn't comment through slobs. They call it slobs. I couldn't comment through slobs. I can only read your comments on slobs. So I have to actually open the stream to comment on it. But um, but yeah, uh, chapter 8 had this. Sorry to those of you who haven't read it yet. I think pretty much everybody here has read it, but it ended with this crazy flags. I love flags. I love this series so much. It's so fun. And so today we are gonna start with we're doing chapter 9, and it's a sky mission. When you hear sky mission, what do you think? I think like Metal Gear or something. I don't know why I think of Metal Gear. I haven't actually played that much Metal Gear, but I think of Metal Gear. And obviously there are going to be hijinks because nothing ever goes well when Sago is involved. All right, let's start. That is a problem because I need to hear myself. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay. Hijink is a new word. 親分復活から3週間後 3 weeks after 親分's recovery. Wait, hold on. Is the live not switched? That's a problem. Why is the live not switched? Oh dear. Hmm? Hold on. Hold on. Okay, this is a new type of technical error where I changed the scene in slobs, but it doesn't show in the live. Whoa, why? Ah, bye, Elle. Hope you enjoy the birthday party. What? What am I gonna do? Oh, I have to press transition? Oh my god. It doesn't do it automatically anymore. I'm on the wrong screen. Anyways, alright. Alright. We're good. We're good. This is gonna kill me someday. Hey L, you know, go to your birthday thing. Hope you enjoy. I mean, sorry the time didn't work out too well, but hey, and say hi to your little doggo for all of us, I guess. All right, let's get started for real this time. Oh my gosh, that stupid transition button. ミヤマを除くつく読みメンバーは集団疎開する月森組の付き添いで国内線深夜便の飛行機に搭乗していた。3 weeks after his recovery, us つく読み members, aside from Miyama, were on a plane accompanying the Tsukimori Gumi members who were 集団疎開 dispersal, evacuating together on a 国内線, so a domestic flight, 深夜便, a late night domestic flight, accompanying the Tsukimori members who were evacuating en masse. 座席のほとんどは月森組で埋まっている。Most of the seats in the plane were of the seats in this plane were being occupied by Tsukimori Gumi members. Okay, next one. 今の月森組に残っているストレンジャーは谷岡組で戦う覚悟。All of the Tsukimori Gumi members who had stayed behind had the resolve to bring the fight to fight against is more normal, but let's say to bring the fight to that makes him sound more active, more like Yeah, we got this. Okay, give me resolve did not. It's not. But many of them did not have the strength to back up their resolve. So again, this is the standard sentence flip. 覚悟はあってもそう。Even though they have resolve, 実力が伴わないもの。Go away. 覚悟はあってもそう。Even though they have the resolve, 実力が伴わない。This is like the strength to accompany or to back up, and then people. So 実力が伴わないもの. So those without, so this is 伴わない, not accompanied by strength, right? So も多い, a lot of them. So many of them did not have the strength to back up their resolve. Pretty common sentence flip. 子供、老人、貧弱などなど. Including, this included children, the elderly, and the members. Let's incorporate this sentence into here. Many of them, including children, the elderly, and the weaker members, did not have the strength to back up the resolve. Perfect. 彼らはいくら士気が高いと言ってもあまりに一方的にやられてしまう。They had high morale, but were losing the fights. Rather were one-sidedly losing their fights. They had high morale, but were getting beat. Were losing all their fights rather one-sidedly. ぶっちゃけ足手まといなのだ。To be blunt, they were just in the way. It's true. It's a terrible thing to say, but it's true. Children, elderly, and weak people in a fight are just, it makes it worse. They're more in the way when they have high morale because they do shit, right? Like the last chapter, they talked about how like in like all directions there were fights everywhere, but people were getting stabbed. They were they were trying to assault the office by themselves, and it's more annoying. It's like stay put, like sit down, okay? Like you can't do jack, but they do, so they're in a way, so that's why they're being evacuated. They're not evacuating, they're being evacuated. Okay, next. Okay, let's stop it right there because this is pretty self-contained. Let's do this. 親分はそういった非戦闘員を候補に下げ、Is it just me or has all the... Huh. Okay, never mind. 親分はそういった非戦闘員を候補に下げることに。Such decided to have these non-combat members 後方に下げる fall back Weapon decided to have these non-combat members retreat to a safer location. So this as such is nowhere in the text, obviously. And yeah, it's just one of those things that you add just to make it flow better in English. 宗教家時代のつてで北海道の古代の悪い気遣わせてもらえることにより thanks to his connections from his days as a religious leader. Was he a leader? He was never. He was like a saint, right? But he wasn't the actual leader. So as a thanks to his days, thanks to his connections from his days in from his days being a person of interest. That is wrong. Thanks to his connections from his days in the cult. Should we call it a cult? Wasn't really a cult, was it? I mean, technically it's a cult, yeah. Let's put that there, and then I'll think about it later. He was able to get a deal. So YDB gives discount, right? So to get a deal, he was able to get a deal. Able to get a deal using a large piece of land. I do not like where the sentence is going. It sounds so bad. He was able to get a deal using a large piece of land for cheap. Able to Let's finish the sentence first. そこに疎開がてら労働力として投入するのだ。そこに疎開。Evacuating there, gatera at the same time. Gatera is a bit of a weird word, but gatera on the same occasion at the same time, so along with, so at the same time. 労働力として投入. So like he's gonna make these people work manual labor while they're evacuated. How do I put that into a sentence? Why is my mind not working? えーっと his connections stays in the code through his connections stays in the code. He managed to find a large place in Hokkaido. I realize I forgot Hokkaido in all of this, but find a large place in Hokkaido that was willing to let all the evacuating stay for a cheap price in exchange for doing manual labor. So much better. So much better. In exchange for doing manual labor. Yes. もともとがヤクザとの、right. KKK. In exchange for doing manual labor. That said, these were too weak to fight. It would be so they couldn't be expected to do much heavy lifting. No sagyo. So this is the working in the fields, farm work. They couldn't be expected to do much farm work. Kitsui no sagyo. They can be expected to do much severe, heavy duty. Heavy duty? Heavy duty. Much heavy duty farm work. But it was they weren't entirely useless. That said, these were people who were too weak to fight with Yakuza in the first place, too weak to participate in the fight. With Yakuza in the first place, so they couldn't be expected to do much of the heavy-duty farm work. Let's end the sentence there. However, they weren't entirely useless. 後継者不足で猫の手も借りたい農地の持ち主としても最善とはとても言えないが悪くないらしい。As long as they could earn their own living, that was more than enough to earn their own, as long as they were removed from the fighting and could earn their own living. 그때 이케레바 had food to eat. That was more than enough. 後継者不足で猫の手も借りたい。From of the farmers who were struggling with lack of hands due to a lack of successors and were in desperate need of any and all help. この猫の手も借りたい is a pretty interesting saying. It's a pretty fun one. Basically, it's like, like you need help so badly that even a cat, like you'll be willing to accept even a cat helping you, which is useless. Which is the whole point of the saying, right? I mean, what is a cat gonna do? A cat isn't. A cat is just gonna mess up your shit. But that's what the saying is. So like you're in such desperate need of help that you need a cat. But yeah. So here we're just saying in desperate need. We're not gonna carry the cat thing over because it doesn't work. It doesn't work in English, which is too sad. Desperate need. From the point of view of the farmers who were struggling with a lack of successors and in desperate need, who were in desperate need of any and all help due to a lack of successors. Who were in desperate need of any and all help. This idea was not perfect, but it wasn't bad. This wasn't a bad deal. Wasn't an entirely bad deal. Yep, let's do that. Towaye. Here we go. Urban Psycho! とはいえ Oh, welcome back, L. That said, 就労ビザ持ってない奴らを employing those without a working visa was a dangerous bridge to cross. Working visa. A working visa. This hits a little close to home because I'm trying to. I think I said it a few times before on Discord, but I'm thinking of moving to Japan. But the visa, man, the visa. I mean, not that I can go anywhere now with COVID, but anyways. バレたら一発アウトである。There was no was no auto 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 バレたら so if they're exposed okay this is again this is a bad sentence if exposed immediately out such a bad such a bad sentence uh, but the thing is I've probably seen translations that do this some of the translations that do this no okay no but it helps to understand what the structure of the sentence is. And sometimes, when the sentence is really short, it becomes more annoying to translate because you can't describe it. Like the shorter it is, the less describers you can put in, right? And so it becomes, you either just have it, it's like one to one, like a direct translation. You either get it or you have to think about it. And when you think about it, it becomes annoying. Mm. If exposed. I feel weird using the same start of it. Um, there was no talking out of it. Talking out of it. Mm, it was. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna keep it like this. 知らぬ存じぬで押し通すことも不可能ではないのだろうが wasn't entirely impossible play to play dumb to play dumb the whole way through. Nah, the sentence is so bad. Was it entirely impossible to insist ignorance? Insist. I don't like how insist is right next to ignorance. Assert. Assert. Assert ignorance. I assert here that I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know, man. Uh, Kuma says plead ignorance. See, it works like this, but here it means actually, you know what? You know what? I would take that actually. So what was tripping me up was because oshtos means to insist, to plead it, and then they'll ask you back, right? Like you really don't know, and then you will be like, yes, I really don't know. So oshtos means to insist to the bitter end, to all the way through. You insist all the way through, but I mean, plead sort of you can use it that way. Oh my Michael Scott, I declare innocence. I haven't watched that one before. Was The Office, right? I've been wanting to watch it, but one, I don't have time. Two, it's not on Netflix in Hong Kong. I don't know where. I've seen like tons of clips on YouTube though. I love it. Okay, it wasn't entirely impossible to plead ignorance. Okay, this second half of the sentence is a bit different from the first, so let's sort of do it a bit separately. The willingness. It was most likely. In large part, it was most likely thanks to Oyabun's Jintoku character. Character? Personal virtue. Personal character. Natural virtue. Natural virtue is, you know what, whatever. These farmers were willing to turn a blind eye despite knowing that they were going to be employing illegal labor. Illegal laborers. It wasn't entirely impossible. It wasn't. If exposed, there was no talking out of it. See, this doesn't sort of match with this because this basically says yes, there's talking out of it. The actual text means auto, like exposed. Baretara ippatsu auto. So baretara means like bareru means to be exposed, right? Like to have someone find out your shit, someone find out your secret, someone find out your porn stash. Baretara ippatsu auto means like like that. There's like it is what it is. There's no glossing it over. It just you know it's like you know if you have I don't know porn on your table and then your I don't know your mom comes in, right? It is what it is. There's no glossing it over. That's actually a pretty good example if I do say so myself. バレたら一発アウト。Mm, we probably have to work on this sentence first to make this work. Do, 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 do. That said, employing those without a working visa was a dangerous bridge to cross. It was illegal, plain and simple. Yeah, let's do that. It wasn't as if it was entirely and it wasn't as if it was entirely impossible to plead ignorance, but it was most likely thanks to it was natural virtue that these farmers were willing to turn blind eye despite knowing the illegal of their be laborers. Like that. What is here we go. We always do that. I mean, I always do that. My bad. Here we go. Okay, so let's talk about the people who are coming along. 親分は疎開する役。親分 was coming along as 礼儀 as courtesy. It's coming along a courteous gesture while handing over the roughly 100 members. Handing over. Handing overs for. Do you use that for people? Was coming along as a courteous gesture while 引き渡す extradite to deliver transfer relinquish distribute drop hand over transfer turn over people. Oh boy, that's so wrong. Commit Himu asks, what's the equal word for oyabun in English? Oyabun would be like, it's the title that you give the boss of the Yakuza gang, so you could use boss, I guess. Or like, whatever, just imagine a mafia, I guess. That, I mean, the mafia is sort of the English version of the Yakuza, isn't it? Like, the mafia. What do you call the biggest person in a mafia? You know what? Let's look it up. What did you call this person in a mafia? Boss. In big words. Boss. It's the commission? Oh my gosh. Capomandamento. Don. Don! Yeah, maybe Don. Don would work. I just find it funny. But I like Oyabun because this is a Japanese work. And Oyabun carries the whole Yakuza thing. Oyabun was coming along as a courteous gesture. You know what? I'm just gonna use handing over. Screw it. While handing over the roughly 100 members who were going to be roughly 100 members to their new place of occupation. This does not work. This sentence does not work. Oyabun was coming along as a courteous gesture, coming along to officially properly oversee the handing over of the roughly 100 members to properly oversee the handing over of the 100 members to the new place of occupation. I'm thinking we might have to cut this. Coming along to properly oversee as they settle down in their new place of occupation. Let's keep it like that. ババアはしばらく疎開組についていて北海道に What is this word? に投留し通訳を担うため同じく同行、sojourn. Baba was coming along as she was going to be staying with this group for a while to help interpret help with any language to help interpret where necessary. Going to stay with this group for a while as their accompanying interpreter. クリスは札幌のラーメンを食べ歩くためにどこ This line makes me laugh. Chris was coming along to eat 札幌ラーメン Isn't this? I love this. I was coming along I was coming along as some rest after the super crunch. I was coming along to get a breather. Crunch. What kind of wording do they use for crunch? I don't want to search it because I feel like it would bring me down a hole. Crazy hole. Get a breather after all the crazy work hours that I had pulled. Yes! I like this. just for fun, we're gonna look up Sapporo ramen. What is Sapporo style ramen? Sapporo, the capital of Hokkaido, is especially famous for its ramen. Rich miso ramen. It's invented there, ideal for Hokkaido's harsh snow winters. Just to make you guys hungry. And I'm making myself hungry. Fuck. This looks so good. Oh my god. No wonder Chris is coming. God damn it. I want I want to eat ramen. Goodness. Ramen is so expensive in Hong Kong, by the way, you know. It's ridiculous. You know, like how in Japan, like ramen is like 500 yen, you can get a pretty big bowl. In Hong Kong, like a normal bowl, KD2, costs like $75. It's like $10. My God, $10 for himu. For himu, what's Indonesian dollar? 2 IDR. Here you go. What? 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 Wait, is there a problem here? What is with all these digits? What is with all these digits? Okay, well, anyways, it's expensive as heck. I want to eat ramen. Alright, moving on. Yep, I missed it again for some reason. 一時とはいえ、はい、ストップ。一時とはいえ、we couldn't very well leave the Tanioka lines entirely very well. No matter. Time so Miyama is tasked with holding down the fort in Tokyo. 最近やっと爆発音攻撃ができるようになった深山は having recently learned how to emit explosive how to attack with explosive sound turned into he had turned into somewhat of a マップ兵器。マップ兵器 I don't know if we have this in English, not that I can think of, but basically 兵器 means weapon, and then map means map, right? So this would be like Fortnite. I don't know. I don't play FPS, but like think it FPS map, and then like if the weapon goes off, like it kills everybody in the map, I guess, something like that. So he's somewhat of into a mini weapon of mass destruction. This is the right one. Weapon of mass destruction. Their lyrics? Their lyrics? There's a song for it? Oh my gosh. WMD. I don't like this. Wide. I'm just gonna do that. So, map weapon is not so much. Weapon of mass destruction is like is a real thing, as is obvious here. A map weapon is strictly a gaming term, right? For example, like say like this entire place is the map, but then is the game field. From here to here is the game field, say, right? But then like for example, you're here, and then your map shows maybe this part. Then if your weapon goes off, everybody in this area around you dies. So it's sort of like an area of effects, but like bigger, like everybody in the map dies, but it's in your map, your vicinity. So if you're here and your map is like this, then everybody in here dies. But like everybody here and here is not touched. Like it doesn't affect them. So it's sort of like a limited area. But anyways, I probably should put a footnote for this. I'll do it later. Debu de donshu de. Debu. I think someone asked before, like there was like a joke about like deburagi, right? Deburagi. So this is what it's from. So Debu means fat, and then her name is Kaburagi, right? So they combined it, and it became combined this, and it became this. So mean, you know. Children are just mean sometimes. Children come up with like the worst nicknames. It's so bad. Due to him being fat and slow. For spearheading an attack. But leaving him to leaving him in a defensive leaving him to hold a defensive line by himself for a while shouldn't be much of a problem. After all, Tanio Kagumi's morale had been pretty low of late. Okay, we are at 11 o'clock. We are going to do this little part and then we're gonna call it quits for the day. So let's do this. Alright, let's do this. It's a bit of a funny paragraph and the sound died. I don't think the sound died. I didn't do anything. Oh, it's back? Okay. Hey, 何しろ谷岡組は親分の療養中。Everything blew up in their face. I'm not sure about this comma. Because when I read it, I'll be like, during Oyabun's period of recuperation, everything that Tanio Kagumi attempted blew up in their face. I think maybe no. 襲撃直前に突然の集団食中毒 before they to launch raid on us. All of them, the fell sick from a mysterious bout of food poisoning. Before the raids gas leak occurred. I feel like all of these aren't describing. So what I'm struggling with right now is trying to discern whether. So it's gonna list a whole lot of stuff. Let me just finish the list first, and then we'll sort it out. Gas leak. 車のエンストパンク。エンストパンク。This is definitely not a normal word because engine stalled. Engine stalled. Punk. Ensto punk. Engine stalled. 隕石落下 meteorite meteorite strike. You see. Okay, my mic there was a bit of mic trouble at the end. So weird. 隕石落下靴ひも踏んで tripping over stepping on undone shoelaces クルネコ集団に占拠される事務所 offices 占拠 occupied by. What do you call a lot of cats together? What do you call a group of cats? Clouder. Okay. Clouders of black cats. And this is going to need a footnote because black cats are seen as omens of misfortune. Their guns had an 80% chance of jamming. Their knives would rust overnight. Would rust over within a single night. Single night, as if they had been dunked into salt water. Waking up at the top of Mount Fuji, cradling empty sake bottles despite having no memory of drinking. Okay, look, this is an example of a terrible sentence, but we are going to sort this out and then call it a day. Wow. This sentence is a big sentence. Everything that Tanio Kagumi attempted blew up in their face. So what I was struggling with before was this. I feel like this part only applies to this, right? Like not all of this. So putting this at the beginning of the sentence doesn't work, because putting this at the beginning of the sentence makes it sound like it applies to the rest of the sentence. See, like that. From a mysterious battlefield poisoning right before a raid. Gas leaks all the time. Gas leaks galore. Engines always stalling. Meteorite strikes out of nowhere. I'm always tripping from stepping on own shoelaces. Offices occupied by clouders of black cats. I feel like the comma should be there. Their guns. And there were those who woke up at the top of Mount Fuji cradling empty sake bottles despite having no memory of drinking. Let's read over this and let's make sure it works. During Oyabun's period of recuperation, everything that Tanio Kogumi attempted blew up in their face. All of them fell sick from a mysterious bout of food poisoning right before a raid. Gas leaks galore, engines always stalling, meteorite strikes out of nowhere, them always tripping from stepping on their own shoelaces. Offices occupied by clouders of black cats. Their guns had an 80% chance of jamming. Their knives would rust over within a single night as if they had been dunked into salt water. And there were those who even woke up at the top of Mount Fuji, cradling empty sake bottles despite having no memory of drinking. There was a case of someone. Now, obviously, all of this is just me adding to it, but you know, it flows now, so yay. And that's it. That is it for today. Thank you for joining. Look forward to this next chapter. It's gonna be so fun. We haven't actually gotten into why it's called a sky mission yet. You might be able to guess when they're talking about this thing, but look forward to it. It's gonna be another hell of a ride once again. Thank you guys for listening, and have a good day. Have a good night.